candidate siya, yung reason of his office na na reason, dapat walang ganun tumanggap.
Hindi,
But
kunya, sabihin
going back
natin
to your main
first-timer
question,
ka. Let's say, first-timer.
So, private citizen.
Private, oo, natatakbo ka
Yes.
for a national position. Let's say, for senator. Oh,
Tapos binigay prior to the campaign season.
okay. And the campaign season is usually,
1
kung
year.
national, 90 days before the official campaign
Yes.
period.
I'm not mistaken, March pag local eh.
Okay.
So pag private citizen ka, mas mahirap yun mag-fall under plunder kasi walang yung by reason of his office.
Okay.
Unless yung binigay na pera, mapakita ng prosecution is ill-gotten. Yun yung way pag private citizen, yung pag private citizen yung tumanggap.
Okay.
Basta ill-gotten naman. Yung kay Senator Marcoleta kasi, even if it's private funds, dun sa by reason of his office nila pinapasok na argument.
Oo.
So going back to your main question, ma'am, just to be safe,
Yeah.
at para wala ng talaga technical questions.
Correct.
Better if you just declare it in the SOSE.
SOSE. Lahat ng mga campaign contributions mo, basta isulat mo, you are truthful, then that's parang the remedy so that you will not, there's no chance that somebody can file a case of plunder against you.
Yes, oo.
Okay.
Para mas na,
Kumbaga-
lesser headache.
Oo,
I mean,
lesser.
hindi may other remedies pa, but just to be safe na lang, iwas na yung mga magsagot-sagot, show cause order.
Oo.
Better ilagay na sa SOSE lahat.
Pati
Pero yung kailangan kasi
Nick.
bantayan dyan, lalo na pag local candidates, may yan eh, yung political budget na threshold, yung pwede mo lang igastos
Ay,
na
oo.
expenses.
Oo, per voter. Oo, per
Okay.
voter. Na hindi
Evidence po kasi yung sa COMELEC is based on an alleged violation sa COMELEC laws natin. Pero currently kasi amended na, hindi na criminalize yung non-declaration sa SOSE. So wala na talagang possible COMELEC liability.
Okay.
Whereas yung sa ombudsman po kasi yung basis nila was the plunder law, violation of plunder law.
Oh.
Kasi daw tumanggap si Senator Marcoleta ng funds
Oh.
na in relation to his office kasi congressman daw po siya nun.
Oo.
Pero if you would ask me, it is actually defensible yung situation ni Senator Marcoleta considering the timelines. Kasi number one, when he received the funds, yung sinabi naman niya January, tapos February po start ng national campaign eh. So, medyo
Hindi pa
reasonable
election
naman to
period.
conclude,
Oo.
yes, na binigay in advance for the campaign period. Whereas pag binigay yun a year earlier, yun medyo alanganin yun na i-argue na for campaign. Pero dito kasi, immediately the month after, po agad national campaign na eh.
So it's the timing also.
It's the timing.
Oo.
Pero kasi sinasabi nila, bakit plunder? Private citizens naman yung mga nagbigay sa kanya.
Meron po kasing provision sa plunder law na if you receive funds in relation to your office.
Oo.
Pero kailangan pa po yun ipakita ng prosecution na tinanggap yun ni Senator Marcoleta dahil congressman siya. In other words, may
Sitting
expected
siya.
na kapalit yung nagbigay sa kanya.
Oo.
Pero yun nga po, if we look at kasi the timelines of everything when it was given, tapos election period na next month, and then yung statements lang naman ni Senator Marcoleta, lahat for campaign purposes yun siya.
Oo.
So, kung ako tatanungin, defensible yung position po talaga niya.
Defensible.
Diba, bukod po dyan sa maraming mga legal terms sa lumalabas, attorney, ang dami rin po lumalabas sa mga legal experts. Kumbaga, hindi naman po mga abogado, pero alam mo naman ng Pilipino,
Mema.
magaling talaga tayo. Halimbawa, kung nagkaroon ng COVID, di ba, ang daming doktor na naglabasan po. Para po na yung mga fake news, paki-explain nga po, attorney, kasi there was a time po na nagtrabaho po ako sa Senado, na lumabas po yung mga plunder cases nung time na yon. So, ito po, hindi na po sa akin bago, pero of course, di naman po ako abogado. So, I want to, and again, discuss yung plunder po, no? Correct me if I'm wrong, attorney, but RA, Republic Act 7080 requires, number
Yes.
one, combination or series of overt criminal acts. Number two, aggregate ill-gotten wealth of at least 50 million pesos. So ganito po ba
Yes.
ito sa kaso po ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta na wala namang, sa tingin niyo po ba naabutan niya yung threshold na nagkaroon nga ng supposedly combination or series of overt criminal acts if yung kasong nilalabas po sa kanya or binibinta po sa kanya is just the acceptance of around 75 million pesos. Nasaan po dito yung serye? Nasaan po rin yung pagiging overt? Tapos, second point ko po, is kung dalawa po yung requirement, what if hindi po masatisfy yung isa? Halimbawa, aggregate ill-gotten wealth of at least 50 million. Okay, naka-reach po siya ng 50 million. But what if the other requirement is not met, attorney? Hindi po ba pwedeng defensible din po? It could be used as a defensible case for Senator Marcoleta?
Did you read the exact law po ba, yung provisions ng 7018
That's why,
mismo?
sir, that's why I need you to please,
Enlighten.
enlighten us. Kasi nga po, ito yung lumalabas ngayon that there's 2 requirements supposedly. So, totoo po ba? Ano po yung sitwasyon po ni Attorney Marcoleta? Kasi supposedly, dapat po, mayroon talagang aggregate or series po, serye nga po, ng kanyang supposedly mga criminal acts, overt criminal acts. Does Senator Marcoleta actually has he reached this threshold po, sir?
Yung sa amounts involved, yung minention naman kasi minention naman ni Senator Marcoleta total was around 75 million if I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
mistaken.
Oo, 30, 25,
And then
20.
3 individuals yung nagbigay sa kanya. So it can be argued na series na rin yun. Pero if you will ask me nga po, considering the timelines, tapos yung statements naman fully ni Senator Marcoleta is for campaign purposes yun siya. So defensible yung position. Kasi in criminal cases po, we have to remember,
Yes.
proof beyond reasonable doubt yung kailangan ma-establish. So kailangan mapakita talaga ng prosecution dyan na beyond reasonable doubt, binigay yung pera at tinanggap yun ni Senator Marcoleta by reason of his office na congressman siya. Pero lahat po ng public statements niya ngayon is for campaign purposes.
Oo.
Plus reasonable din yung timelines considering January binigay, February national campaign na.
Oo.
So ano naman siya ba? May
laban.
May laban.
Oo,
Kasi
oo.
logical, reasonable yung mga timelines lahat.
Oo. Pero,
Hindi siya suntok sa buwan na argument, na
Oo.
defense.
Attorney, binanggit niyo na nga natin yung 3 nag-donate, no? Ano po naman ang liability po nila? Parang nga sabi ko nga kay Ricky, nagbigay ka na nga milyon-milyon, tapos ngayon nakakulong ka. Ano po ang sala po doon? Kasi maintindihan ko yung kaso na sinampalaban kay Senator Marcoleta kasi nga public figure siya, no? Ay was a congressman at the time at tatakbo ng senador. Pero yung 3 they were private citizens, no? Then Congressman Mike Defensor was already private, and then si Mr. Angeles at saka si yung isa. So ano po ang sala nila doon?
Under plunder law din po, violation. Kasi
Bakit?
plunder can be committed by private individuals na naman. Basta mapakita na nag-work together siya with a public figure
So-
or a public servant.
Is there a threshold also as to the amount that you can donate? Like, parang sa Amerika, di ba, pag sila po ay nagbibigay ng donasyon, parang may hangganan lang eh. Dito sa Pilipinas, meron ba? Pag kanyari, 20 million, 30 million, 25 million, ano na yun? Plunder? So, paano po? So matatakot na ngayon yung mga mayayaman na negosyante.
Kasi po,
Maski
balak
na-
namin ni Patty pa naman mag-donate
Mag-donate.
sa BSKE election. So baka po
Oo, may ano ba ang kumbaga maximum amount na pwede mong i-donate na hindi ka naman makukulong kung sakali naman yun na nga nagkaroon po ng nagkabistuhan na ikaw ay nagbigay.
Pag dinonate nyo po during campaign season, yun clear yun na for campaign purposes agad. Wala na siyang questionable area. So, kung February onwards dinonate, hindi na sana mapupunta in this situation.
Oh.
Pero since it's a month earlier kasi hindi pa po start ng national campaign,
Oh.
dun ngayon nagka-questionable area.
So
But nevertheless, it's defensible po in position ni Senator Marcoleta. Basta sa plunder po, 50 million pataas, that's already the plunder threshold.
yeah, no, but let's say the
Papasok po yun
case of
siya. Yes.
former Congressman Mike Defensor, he donated 30. It's not 50 million. Hindi naman niya alam na magdo-donate yung dalawa na isa 25, 20. Siya 30 lang. So bakit siya na-plunder? Yung threshold nga is 50 million supposedly. And then is it bailable? So habang dinidinig, nakakulong, hindi ba dapat innocent before proven guilty?
Diyan natin makikita, ma'am, na iba kasi yung evidentiary threshold pag sa preliminary investigation.
Oh.
Lower than reasonable doubt kasi ang kailangan lang is reasonable certainty of conviction. So for the ombudsman, meron daw reasonable certainty of conviction to file the case. Yun yung position nila. And yung position din nila, etong individuals na to work together, kaya nag-cross over dun sa plunder threshold of 50 million plus. And then yung plunder actually, ma'am, yung isang public misconception dyan, wala talaga tayong non-bailable offenses. It's either bail as a matter of right or discretionary bail. So when you say bail as a matter of right, pwede ka magpiyansa kahit anong mangyari. Pero sa plunder, discretionary kasi siya. So when you say discretionary, kailangan mo i-petition sa korte na ma-allow ka magpiyansa kasi mahina yung ebidensya. So pwede po yan gawin nila Senator Marcoleta. Pero during the pendency na hindi pa na-actionan ng court yung petition for discretionary bail na yon, talagang madedetain mo na sila.
So Sandigan Bayan ang maglalabas po nung desisyon na yon kung pwede sila mag-bail. Since hindi pa
Yes.
nila,
Wala
hindi
pa sa
pa
kanila.
nila dinidinig, hindi pa nila ata nadidinig, nakakulong sila hanggat hindi pa yon madinig. Pero pwede
Yes. Pwede po.
mag-bail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yun yung difference po. Pag bail as a matter of right kasi,
Oo.
magmo-motion ka lang yan, tapos titingnan lang kung binayaran mo ba yung amount na recommended bail, and then laya ka na nun. Yun yung difference between discretionary and as a matter of right na bail.
Discretionary.
Ang daming terms.
Ang daming terms. So follow up ko lang, Attorney Neil. Sa kaso po ni nung tatlo, ni Mike Defensor, ni Joseph, at saka Angeles yata, if I'm not mistaken, the last name. How long, normally in the process, how long will they be there? Because I'm sure they will file bail, di ba? Pero yun na nga, I don't know if the Sandigan Bayan is just dribbling it para matagal pa sila nandyan. But normally, how long does this process take bago sila makalaya na with bail?
Yung hindi rin po automatic na porket nag-file ka ng petition for discretionary bail, makalaya ka, mama. You have to convince the court na mahina yung ebidensya against you.
So parang naka-trial ka din.
Parang mag-hearing din po yan.
Maghihiring din.
Parang magkaka-mini hearing for the bail to determine kung mahina ba yung ebidensya para bigyan ka ng discretionary bail.
So may hearing
To
ka
allow
for
you
the
to
bail
post.
lang. Tapos
wala
wala pa, iba pa yung hearing para sa kaso mo.
Yes.
Grabe, no?
Hassle talaga to. So, gaano katagal po
Yun
yan?
na.
Normally
Yun
pa,
na.
yung sa Sandigan. Kasi alam natin sa mga RTC, di ba, it
Oo.
can take months, years. Pero sa Sandigan Bayan, tapos mga high-profile cases ito, do you think mas bibigyan to ng pansin, mas madadali yung hearing lang para sa bail?
Well, considering mabilis po nila nalabas yung warrant, di ba? Nung Friday final, Monday,
Monday.
meron agad
Oo.
warrant. So, since this case is a matter of public interest, high profile, tingin ko naman susundin naman siguro ng Sandigan Bayan yung strict timelines under the rules.
Which is?
Kasi generally po, meron talaga kang rules, under the rules of court, kung ganitong period, in 60 days usually yan that maglabas ng decision. Pero in actual practice, because of the yung caseload, sobrang daming cases ng korte, hindi yun nasusunod yung ganung timeline. So, but dito, since high-profile case, baka naman po magampanan nila yung strict na requirement under the rules of court.
Pero attorney, sabi mo baka magampanan. So do you suppose po na attorney it is politically motivated also? Meron or talaga namang maaasahan po baka ang Sandigan Bayan po? What if, for example, this case reaches Sandigan Bayan on its merits already, no? Ayun na nga, dahil alam naman po natin, gusto rin ni Senator Marcoleta na maka-attend po sa impeachment trial po ni Vice President Sara Duterte. What is the possibility po na makapag-participate siya? And another question, attorney, if he does not get bail para po dito sa kaso na ito, makakapag-participate pa rin po ba siya as a senator?
Iba yung bail, ma'am, from ma-allow sila to participate.
So, paano po
So,
yun? Halimbawa,
pwede.
kung di siya pag halimbawa, yung sa hearing po para sa kanyang bail ay hindi po maaprubahan.
Hindi mag-grant, yes.
Hindi po siya makaka-participate
Pwede
sa
pa rin ba?
impeachment trial?
Pwede pa rin naman. It depends on if the court will allow it. Kasi yung ire-request mo dyan is not simply for bail lang, kundi yung constitutional function ng senator as a senator judge. So hindi siya directly related to bail. Kasi yung bail, the purpose of bail ay para
Makalaya ka.
magkaroon ka
Lang,
ng
makalaya ka.
Liberty. Oo.
Yes.
Pero
Whereas
doesn't-
dito kasi, pag nag-motion to participate, just to participate as a senator judge.
So, isa pa pong hearing pa ulit yun? Bukod pa yun?
Yes. Yes.
Ang dami, no?
Oo, pero attorney, pag ganyan po ba, nawawala rin po yung kanilang, kumbaga, yung kanilang responsibilidad at duty nila as a senator, ganon? Pag halimbawa
Nagsistrip
nakasuna po
ba sila ng
Opo.
kanilang mga kapangyarihan?
Matik po ba yun?
Yung position ko dyan, ma'am, hindi. Kasi they are still considered as senators of the Republic.
And they were
Kasi
voted.
currently, they are
Oo,
still
elected
presumed
sila.
innocent. Wala pa naman pong any conviction disqualifying them to hold office. So, they are still senators of the Republic of the Philippines. Therefore, they are not stripped of their functions.
Yun. Ayun o.
In other words, kasama pa rin po sila dun sa mga voting thresholds, yung sa 2/3 to convict.
Oo.
Yan.
Dapat kasama sila. So, Attorney Nilito, may Tita Tessie Baltasar, she texted me.
Yes.
Sabi niya, campaign donations are not public funds. So, paano siya naging krimen?
Plunder.
Oo, paano siya
Ayun
naging
Yun siya sa ano, ma'am, sa by reason of office.
by
na-
reason of office?
Na binigay at tinanggap. Yun yung argument ng ombudsman.
So if you're an elected official, just the mere fact that you accepted money is already a donation and that's already a cause for you to for plunder? Ganun ba 'yon?
Basta mapakita nila na tinanggap at binigay yon by reason of his office. Meaning, binigay yon si congressman yon, tapos they're expecting something in return.
Eh kung ano
Kaya
lang,
actually, kung ako po tatanungin nyo,
Oo.
ma'am, hindi ako pabor na kinasuhan kasi for me, wala pa yung reasonable certainty of conviction kasi hindi naman clearly established yung essential elements of the crime of plunder. But since it's already filed, edi yung next steps na lang yun for Senator Marcoleta talaga is to exhaust all available legal remedies dun sa Sandigan Bayan.
okay, so attorney, ito ang question ko. 2028 is around the corner. Marami dyan sa mga tumatakbo kandidato, kumukuha talaga sila ng mga donasyon. 'Di ba? Whether winnable or hindi, may mga nagbibigay. So, ano yun? Lahat na lang po ng mga kandidato, pwede silang masampahan. Eh, wala naman talagang may kakayahan, lalo na if you're going to run a presidential or vice presidential election or senator, basta nationwide, it really takes you millions. In fact, they were saying nga now, parang 2 billion na ngayon for a national campaign, to run a national campaign. And I don't think anybody on his own will shell out that much unless, of course, you're from the, yung mga Taipan, di ba, na hindi naman sila tumatakbo.
O, bigyan
Yung
kita
mga
ng ano lang,
Chinese.
sample lang ha. Halimbawa,
Oh.
pag tumakbo ang konsehal sa Quezon City, 80 million pesos na.
Kaya nga, that's
Campaign
why.
lang yung maliit
Kaya
pa
nga,
yun.
that's why I'm saying. So wala naman talagang naglalabas ng kanya sa sarili. So lahat ba yon ng mga donasyon na yon, dapat kailangan mo lang i-declare sa SOSE mo, sa iyong SALN, para lusot ka? Doon ba nagkakaroon, kumbaga yung technicality? For as long as you declare that you received all this, di ba, then you're off the hook. Is that how it works?
Number one, ma'am, dapat kung candidate siya, yung reason of his office na reason, dapat walang ganun tumanggap.
Hindi,
But
kunya, sabihin
going back
natin
to your main
first-timer ka.
question,
Let's say, first-timer,
So, private citizen.
private, natatakbo ka
Yes.
for a national position, let's say, for senator.
Tapos binigay prior to the campaign season.
Okay. And the campaign season is usually,
1
kung
year.
national, 90 days before the official campaign
Yes.
period.
If I'm not mistaken, March pag local eh.
Okay.
So pag private citizen ka, mas mahirap yun mag-fall under plunder kasi walang yung by reason of his office.
Okay.
Unless yung binigay na pera, mapakita ng prosecution is ill-gotten. Yun yung way pag private citizen, yung pag private citizen yung tumanggap.
Okay.
Basta ill-gotten naman. Yung kay Senator Marcoleta kasi, even if it's private funds, dun sa by reason of his office nila pinapasok na argument.
Oo.
So going back to your main question, ma'am, just to be safe
Yeah.
at para wala nang talaga technical questions.
Correct.
Better if you just declare it in the SOSE.
SOSE. Lahat ng mga campaign contributions mo, basta isulat mo, you are truthful, then that's parang the remedy so that you will not, there's no chance that somebody can file a case of plunder against you.
Yes, oo.
Okay.
Para mas
Kumbaga.
lesser headache.
Oo,
I
lesser.
mean, hindi may other remedies pa, but just to be safe na lang, iwas na yung mga magsagot-sagot, show cause order.
Oo.
Better ilagay na sa SOSE lahat.
Pati,
Pero yung kailangan kasi
mag-donate.
bantayan dyan, lalo na pag local candidates, may yan eh, yung political budget na threshold, yung pwede mo lang igastos
Ay,
na
oo.
expenses.
Oo, per voter. Oo, per
Okay.
voter. Na hindi naman talaga nasusunod in reality kung tutuusin.
Oo.
Di ba? Alam
Actually,
niyo
kailangan
attorney.
Kailangan na nga
Baguhin
i-revisit
talaga yung
nga yun
laws
kasi
na yun.
1987 pa nga daw
Diba?
yan yung election.
So,
Okay.
attorney talaga ang binabantayan na naman talaga natin, di ba? Sabi nga nila, ito daw mga paghahain po ng mga kaso kina Senator Marcoleta, kina Senator Jinggoy, at sa iba pa. It's really because of the impeachment. Whether there's an agreement or whether there's there's acknowledgement that it is, ayun po yung perception po ngayon ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino. As from the legal point of view po, attorney, how would this affect and impact yung impeachment trial po ni Vice President Sara? Ito pong, kumbaga nakikitang political persecution po sa mga kaalyado niya.
So, actually, currently, ma'am, since kinlarify naman na po ni Presiding Officer Escudero na yung voting threshold is 16 or 2/3 of all members, currently wala siyang significant impact talaga as to the impeachment voting thresholds. Kasi prior to that clarification ni Presiding Officer Escudero, yung position kasi nung mga pro-impeachment ay dapat yung 2/3 threshold will be based on active senators lang. So doon medyo parang lugi ngayon yung minority kasi bababa na yung threshold from 16, it can go down to 12 kasi baka kasuhan, ipa-arrest na lang yung senators.
Yeah.
Pero ngayon, since clarify yun ni Senator Escudero, kahit na ipa-arresto ng mga kung sino-sino yung opposition senators, it will not affect the voting threshold.
Sir, ano sa palagay niyo po, matanong ko lang din, dahil pag-uusapan na po natin si Senator Escudero, ano po sa palagay niyo ang yung pagiging pagiging presiding officer po niya in the impeachment trial? Kasi ayan din di ba, naging controversial din po. Bakit daw hindi si Senator Win Gatchalian? What do you think, sir?
Actually, ano po yung position ko dyan, questionable yun yung pag-elect sa kanya. Kasi yung if we read the provisions under the Constitution regarding the presiding officer, yung nakalagay lang naman sa Constitution, the Chief Justice shall preside if the President is on trial, period. Therefore, hindi pwede tayo mag-fill in the blanks na pwede magka-election of a presiding officer. Tapos
Kasi
papasok
silent.
din po kasi dyan, yes, silent yung batas.
So open to
pasok din po kasi dyan
interpretation.
ngayon, yes ma'am, ano po yan?
Sabi ko, because it's silent, it's open to interpretation. And I guess the majority interpreted it na since it wasn't specific, it wasn't, kumbaga talagang specified na dapat ang Senate President, inano nila. But then again, sige po, Attorney Neil.
Yes. So if we read the Constitution, Chief Justice pag President,
Yes.
period.
Oo.
And then ngayon, yung argument ng majority, they amended the rules daw. The Senate impeachment rules, they amended it that allowed them to elect a presiding officer. Kaso yung dilemma ng majority doon, di ba may petition po sa Supreme Court kasi questionable yung quorum.
Oo,
So
June
pag wala
3.
kasing quorum, all subsequent actions can be declared as null and void then later on.
Yeah.
But
oo.
anyway, going back to my main point po, since silent yung batas, Chief Justice lang nakalagay, dyan papasok ngayon yung rule of interpretation sa Constitution that you have to read the Constitution as a whole. So if we look at all the other provisions of the Constitution in relation to the Senate, laging Senate President po yung presiding officer talaga. And then if idagdag pa natin yung transcript, yung records ng debates during ng framers of the Constitution, diniscuss din nila doon, kaya nila hindi na nilagay yung provision na in all other cases, Senate President shall preside kasi it is, ang
Understood.
presumption nila by then, understood na yun.
Oo.
Kaya tinanggal ni, if I'm not mistaken, si former Chief Justice David yun, yung supposedly mag-insert ng amendment, kaya niya tinanggal. So if we read the basic principle, if we follow basic statutory construction principles of the Constitution, tapos yung transcript of records ng framers, doon natin makikita na dapat yung interpretation ng provision na yon maglilin towards Senate President talaga in all the other cases yung magpe-preside. Yun yung position ko po dyan.
Oo. Attorney Neil, my last question before we let you go. The first time we had you, I remember, was because of the case of your client, no, yung asawa po ni Vice President Sara,
Yes.
si Attorney Mads. I was just wondering if your client is also going to stand as a witness in the impeachment trial kasi ayan na, no, next week yung Chief of Staff ni VP Sara, si Attorney Zulaika Lopez ay haharap. I was just wondering if you are at liberty to let us know if Attorney Mans is also going to stand as a witness, whether for the prosecution or for the defense team.
Wala pa namang ma'am, any
Advice.
plan na ganun. Pero we're just observing kasi baka i-disclose na naman nila yung records ni Attorney Mans. So kung ganun, we will review all our options kung ano yung mga legal remedies namin. May it be na mag-appear via special appearance sa impeachment court or via a petition sa Supreme Court.
Oo, kasi kumbaga kasama si Attorney Mans para dun sa BIR kasi nga 'di ba yung pag-file ng kanilang statements of assets and liabilities. Kasi syempre as husband and wife conjugal po yung kanilang income tax return. Tama ho ba?
Actually, yung sa BIR box, ma'am, na yun eh. Binalik na sa BIR.
Oo nga, oo.
Yung
Pero
box.
for
so more on yung
safekeeping
AMLAC
lang.
records papasok sa nakikita ko ngayon.
Ano po?
Yung sa AMLAC records papasok.
AMLAC.
Yung nakikita ko ngayon. Kasi yun yung sinubmit ng House talaga na document.
Oh, so if ever yun ang magiging basehan para ipatawag si Attorney Mans.
Well, not necessarily patawag. Pag makita namin na i-disclose na nila,
Oh.
baka kami na yung mag-initiate na pwede kami
Umupo.
or pwede siya mag-appear or mag-participate.
Oh, okay. Sige po. So, babalik po kayo, Attorney Neil, dahil yun na nga, 92 days, minus 3 pa lang. So, may 89 pa.
Malayo pa po.
Malayo pa talagang tatahakin natin. So, serye nga po ito. Maraming salamat po, Attorney Neil, for your legal advice, legal
Clarifications.
legal lessons.
Oo, 101 tayo ngayon,
mga
di ba?
BS law kami. Bobo sa law.
Hopefully po may natutunan talaga kayo at clarify
Oo, ayun na nga. At least the two terms that you said, no? Yung, bail as a matter of right and discretionary bail.
Yeah.
O, yun, ang
That's
dalawang...
one big misconception po ng public.
Ayun, at least yan ang aking takeaways. May dalawang klaseng bail. Wala palang non-bailable at bail. It is bail as a matter of right and
Or
discretionary
discretionary.
bail.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Attorney.
Attorney.
Thank you po.